Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we are going to do another BT token guide. So this will be my BT token guide for the month of August. So for those of you unfamiliar with these guides, basically what I do is every month at the end of the month I talk about what's coming out the next month for BTs, and talk about if you're at capped BT tokens, so if you're at 50 and you need to spend them, giving my suggestions for what characters are good to get for this time period. The other thing is I primarily look at characters that are coming out in that month, or like banners that are currently live at the time of recording this video. I will sometimes talk about characters whose banners are not up, but keep in mind that if you BT a character whose banner is not going to be up, that you want to basically have their whole kit other than the BT to get them, or bare minimum all the way up to their LD, right? Some characters are good without a force. Just if you're not using their force time, you don't need it, but for the most part, you want to have everything up through the LD if you're going to BT a character. The other thing I want to say is, too, no matter what I say in this video, I'm basically talking about what are the best characters in terms of meta relevancy and maybe usefulness, but if you have a favorite, it's never a bad idea to BT token your favorite character. I do recommend you pick a character if you have the resources to do it. Pick a character that you want to go in green. That way you're going to get more out of the tokens, but it depends on your box. You could be someone that has so many BTs that you just need to get something you don't have, and maybe that's how you make your choice, right? Also, if I do not talk about a character you are interested in looking at, hit me up in the comments or join my Discord, and you can get some opinions that way as well. So I'm going to jump in. The first character that isn't on any of the banners, the one character that's not on any banners that I am going to talk about is Garnet. So I'll start with Garnet. I don't have her like on my screen right now, but Garnet is still good enough to get her BT, but you're going to want to have her LD already. But her auras are still like top tier in the game, and she just makes your team look good. So Garnet is someone I would still recommend, as crazy as that sounds. It's been, she's been out since February, and she's basically the same character. Doesn't have force enhancements, nothing, and she still is viable. Like, she's still good to run. She's crazy. So Garnet would be the one character not like on my list here that I could still recommend, right? All right, so let's start with this set of three here. So we've got Zack, Kieran, and Laguna. Now, these guys were not brought up in the community stream, but they were on a campaign banner together in JP. So keep in mind that these three may or may not show up. I would say it's pretty likely they show up sometime in August. But another thing that Squex likes to do with these campaign banners is anytime they like to time travel or move characters, they do it with the campaign characters. So there's a chance that some of these characters could come out later, they could come up earlier, whatever, but if they keep it the same, these three would be on a banner, so you would have an opportunity to pick them up. Now, out of these three, all three of these actually are pretty solid. Like, if you don't have Garnet or Ramza, like one of these really crazy good support characters, Kieran actually is not a bad pickup for that, like, kind of aura bot support option. Laguna and Zack are also very, very good characters. Zack is pretty much like a tanking god, and he makes your team darn near unkillable depending on the boss. So if you're someone that just struggles from dying a lot from HP attacks or whatever, Zack is a really nice like fail-safe character you can bring. And then Laguna, his trap from his BT effect are one of the best traps in the game. It gives him like a follow-up anytime everybody character does an action. It's really good if you want to maximize damage during, say, like a Cam FR setup. I use Laguna on my 6-man to help get more damage out of that. So if you like Laguna for like the trap or whatever that he brings his Desperado, Laguna is also still, so like, and honestly, any of these three are still really good pickups. I would say Kieran is probably like the worst of the bunch, but I think he's a pretty underrated support. I actually really like Kieran. So I would say any of these three are actually pretty solid pickups. Now, keep in mind, if you decide like right at the beginning of the month you're going to pick up the BT for one of these three, if you don't have the LD, you're kind of taking a gamble that their banner is for sure coming back. I'm not guaranteeing their banner showing up because it was not on the community stream, right? So, but according to JP, it should come around this time. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Next up, so I got to skip an extra one here. All right, so next up we've got Charlotta, Gabranth, and Cloud of Darkness. Charlotta, so Gabranth is the first one coming out in August, and then Charlotta and Cloud of Darkness will shortly follow. Gabranth is a very good debuffing character, so if you like the debuffing strategy, you like shutting down your opponents through debuffing, you could definitely pick up Gabranth if you want to. What I recommend for characters that are coming with BT and an FR, the strategy you want to do here is you would want to pull for the FR most likely, and then if you don't get the BT and you're not summoning more on the rotation, then you could pick it up with the token. The thing you have to be careful with is when you're looking at current campaign characters, especially like Gabranth, who's going to be on a bunch of banners, right? Um, you don't want to like day one summon for Gabranth's FR, get it, and then buy the BT right away. You kind of have to be patient unless you want to risk wasting your BT tokens. Worst case scenario, and this definitely has happened to people, if you go ahead and buy his BT right away with tokens, you could end up getting his BT on like a free summon or something later, and you basically wasted your 50 BT tokens. So just be careful, make sure the banners are done or that you're done summoning on them before you buy. Gabranth, I think, could be an okay pickup. Charlotta, to me, is the BT of the month. So I think she's the best BT coming out this month. So if there's one character you're going to like go all out for like the FR and BT, to me, Charlotta would be the one. She's very, very good. So I would highly recommend Charlotta. If you end up pulling for her kit and getting everything and missing the BT, she's a great unit to use your BT tokens on for sure. Clouded Darkness is kind of like one of these returning BT characters where, like, she's going to be really solid, but she's not going to be, like, meta-defining. Basically, Clouded Darkness's playstyle is that she does, like, really hefty delays, like big fat 4-turn delays, and then with her BT effect, she gets follow-ups. So she can be quite a strong character to help deal damage doing her force time BT where she's constantly following up another character. Like, you definitely can get a lot of damage out of her. It's just people probably already have characters like Kayn or Laguna that can kind of do those same type of things. So it really depends. And if you're already running Cam, Cam pretty much makes delay useless because he's just going to constantly keep them paralyzed. So there's really no point in delay. So it really just depends on if you like Clouded Darkness and you think you're going to get some use out of her, or maybe you don't have some of those other pieces and you want those, then Cloud of Darkness could be an okay pickup, but she wouldn't be my top choice this month. And then finally, we've got kind of like the big stompers of like this time period right now. I would say Tidus, Machina, and Cam are like the three big boppers in terms of like damage dealers right now. So if you want a big time damage dealer, I would definitely pick up one of these three. I do have character guides out on all these guys also, so feel free to research on any of the character guides to kind of see how the character operates, to see if you like them enough or want to use them. I would say honestly, if you want to meta stomp and like make Shinryu as easy as possible, like Cam is probably the best choice you can get right now. As long as provided you've summoned and you've got the FR and the rest of the kit, right? I'm not sure how many Cam banners are live right now. He actually might not be live anymore, or he's coming to the tail end, right? So it really depends on if you have everything else, but maybe you're just missing the BT. The BT really does help Cam out in setting up. It's not required, but it does help. Now, a reason to not get Cam is some of you that have been playing without him have probably already realized you can do his whole combo with just a Cam friend. So if your friend box is filled with like a bunch of Cams and you haven't needed them, then don't go for him. Then I would opt for something like Machina or Tidus. Machina is just an absolute insane damage dealer. If you've seen some of my videos with him, basically at the end of a Cam setup force time, Machina does over 20 million damage in one launch attack. Like, it's crazy how much damage Machina can do. The thing with Machina, though, is you have to full invest him for him to be good. If he's not full invested, he looks way less impressive. So if you're going for Machina, plan to green as BT. He's probably one of the characters in the game where the green BT is really important, because you want to have his BT effect up as much as possible. So by either spreading it out where you're getting like, however many turns of his burst normally with the green attack, and then getting that really strong HP plus, and then going into a separate burst and renewing it. Or what I usually do is basically I use his BT, his green attack, and getting that up first, and then jumping right into his burst time with a force time up, say from Cam. Then he's doing his strong HP plus through the entire burst phase, doing insane, ridiculous damage. So Machina is one of the best damage dealers in the game right now, if not the best. But obviously a good force time helps enable that, and Cam has a good force time. Now Tidus also has a good force time, and he's a very good character. The thing with Tidus that I think might appeal to some people is Tidus is very self-sufficient. Whereas, if you're using Cam or Machina, they're kind of relying on other pieces to like make them good. Whereas Tidus is self-sufficient, where basically he operates his force time completely independently on his own. He doesn't need other characters to enable his force time to make it look better. And you can just slap a couple of really good support characters or utility characters with Tidus and you're good to go. So Titus, I think, is a little bit flexible for team building and things like that. And I think if you optimize him, you can get really good damage out of his burst phase. So that's basically all the characters I wanted to bring up. So to just quickly summarize these characters, sorry, that's not a BT group there. This little set of 3 here, the Zach, Laguna, Kieran, those are definitely fine pickups. I would say if you're looking for my number 1 overall pick, it's pretty much going to be the characters on this page or Charlotta. So I would say Titus, Machina, Cam, Charlotta, those to me are like the number 1 picks you could grab this month. And it's going to depend on, one, who you have already and who you're willing to invest in and what you want to get out of the game, right? So anyways, there you go. That's my recommendations for this month. So once again, Cam, Charlotta, Machina, Titus, those would be my top picks. If you guys have further questions or want further explanation, feel free to hit me up in the comments or join my Discord. Hope this guide helps you all out. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.